Is there a silver lining in the fact that it took you this long to throw that first pick?
I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, I can't, in that situation, I can't put the ball in jeopardy. Being up 3, kind of backed up in our own territory at like the 10 or something like that. At the end of the day, I can't do that. I should have probably just ate the sack and just give the punt team a chance to, flip the field. But all credit goes to the defense on that. They came out, held them to a field goal, and gave us a chance to go down and win the game the next drive.
How are you able to come back from that, though, and throw a dime like that for the game-winning score? How are you able to do that?
I mean, I think it starts with all the support I have here, whether it's teammates or coaches. I couldn't ask for a better group of people to be around as a support system. And at the end of the day, stuff happens. You have to flush it. You can't dwell on the past. I mean, at the end of the day, we had another opportunity to go out there and win the game, and we just did just that. And that's why we play football, to have opportunities like that to go down and win a game.
How did it feel to make that throw in that situation?
I mean, it just felt good overall, just because we missed a couple of the deeper shots earlier in the game. Obviously, on those throws, my goal is just to allow the receiver to touch the ball, allow them to come down with it, make a play after the catch, or pass interference on the defense so we can move the chains again. And luckily, I mean, Dre made a fantastic catch. It was pretty good coverage, honestly, but Dre made a really good catch and then was able to stay in bounds and take it the rest of the way.
Drew, can you take us through the way that play unfolded from when it's called on the sideline? Do you have different options there? Because everybody's wondering, why isn't he taking deep shots? But it sounds as if there may have been things that you've had earlier that you decided to go in other directions.
Yeah, I mean, that was the second time we ran that play, actually. The first time was the one where I missed it to McLean on the post in the end zone. I missed that one. So that was actually the second time we ran that play. But on that play, honestly, I just saw Indiana kind of being aggressive. Looked at cover one, and the cover one safety was pretty low, and that's how they kind of play as a team with their post safety. So I knew that I had 2 good options. I had Dre on the slot fade, and then I had I think McLean was in again on the backside post. So my first option was Dre, and he won, so I just gave him a chance, and the rest happened.
Does having a moment like that, is it more satisfying in the context of what the past 7 days have been like for you?
I don't know if it's more satisfying. I think it's just, I think it was just great resiliency from not only the offense today, but the defense and special teams. I mean, we were not perfect in any phase today, and I mean, we're the first to admit that. Definitely not as clean as we would have liked on the offensive end, but at the end of the day, we found a way to win. And I mean, Indiana's a tough opponent. Their record may not show it, but they play tough, they play hard, they play fast and physical, and they're going to play the whole game no matter what the score is, and that showed today. I mean, they got great players up front on their D-line. And, I mean, it's just great to bounce back from last week with this win.
What makes KeAndre Lambert-Smith such a clutch receiver for you?
I think it's just his mentality, really. I think Dre and all of our receivers really have that mentality that they want the ball in their hands in those sorts of situations, and they're going to come down with it no matter what. And I think Dre represents that, and that's what makes him good in those moments.
Drew, after the interception, you come back to the sideline. What's going on? What are you thinking about at that moment? What's going on in your head after that throw?
Yeah, honestly, I didn't even know I threw an interception until I got to the sideline, because I got hit, and I didn't even usually you hear the crowd react, but honestly there was no reaction to it. So honestly, I thought it was just an incomplete pass or something, and then I look back at the defense is out on the field, and I'm like, oh, I really just threw an interception right there. But after that happened, I mean, just flush it, move on. Like I said earlier, defense did a great job of going out, holding those to the field goal, backed up, and giving us another opportunity to go down and win the game.
Can that be somewhat of a relief to you that you threw it, that you don't have this, everybody's saying he hasn't thrown an interception, I mean, now that it's done and you bounce back, can that kind of take pressure off in a way?
No, I mean, to me, all that talk is kind of weird, because I'm just gonna, I shouldn't have thrown that ball at the end of the day, but I'm not gonna not be aggressive to not throw an interception. That's not what you have to do at quarterback. You have to take what's there, and sometimes you do have to be aggressive. Sometimes it comes back to bite you, like it did for me today. But I don't think it relieved any pressure or anything like that.
You talked about moving on, and when we talked to you last week after the game, you were pretty upset. How were you able to kind of flush out the last game, and what were some of those meetings, conversations, and film sessions like?
Yeah, so for me, any game, no matter the result, no matter how good I played or how bad I played, I take Saturday night to like reflect on it, and then early into Sunday morning, and then as soon as we get to the practice, I flip the switch to the next opponent. So I kind of put last week behind me on Sunday evening, I guess, and just focused all my energy towards Indiana because we knew this was a tough team, and they have a great scheme defensively, and they got a lot of players out there that can play.
Drew, obviously Brad's a busy guy, but did you two communicate over the past week, and if so, what were those conversations like?
We communicate on pretty much like a daily to every other day basis. It's not always about football, but he was here today, so I was able to catch up with him a little bit in person at least before the game, and then the conversations are just kind of about bouncing back and fundamentals and footwork and just other stuff going on in the world.
It's only a week, but do you feel any different as a quarterback, as a player from last Saturday to now in any way? Through anything?
No, I think as a team, we showed that we're able to bounce back from adversity, not only from last week, but today. Like I said earlier, it wasn't perfect in any phase of the game, but we were able to find a way to win at the end of the day, and it's hard to do. It's hard to win in college football, especially in the Big Ten. No Big Ten opponent is easy. I think we just found out more about ourselves, that we are who we say we are. We're going to bounce back even if we're pushed back into a corner, and so I think we were just a really resilient group today overall.
Drew, at the beginning of the game when the offense is getting booed off the field in some of those early stages without anger and kind of frustration, what are you telling the guys to kind of give them something to cheer about, and how are you tuning that out to generate something offensively?
I think we had a really good mindset offensively. Obviously, we were doing good things, but obviously it wasn't the end result that we wanted, and nobody's more frustrated than us when we can't get things going because of how much time and effort we put into the game plan each week. It's really frustrating when you can't get going as fast as you would have liked, but there was just simple things again that we were missing or not doing in the beginning, and then we finally fixed those things, and we're able to adjust to what they were doing and just keep the game rolling.
Drew, following up on competing in the Big Ten week in, week out, what is the emotional, the mental, physical toll like for you and your teammates throughout the season?
I don't even know how to describe it really. It's definitely like a different type of physical, not abuse, I don't even know a word for it, but like Sunday, I'm already feeling a little sore, and I don't even want to think about what I'm going to be feeling like tomorrow, but we go through a lot as student athletes here. We put so much time into our game plan and everything each week, and not to mention all the schoolwork we have, balancing all those things. So we pour a lot of our emotional and physical well-being into this, and giving it everything we have to hopefully go out on Saturdays and have a good result, and just play the game that we love. But it definitely takes a toll on you mentally and physically. But I think we do a good job of just embracing that almost, and coming together as a team even more, and just bouncing back each week and just going out and just playing.
What do you think